I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
I was having a little browse on the old piston heads.
Yes,
as I often do. As I often do. Sometimes to glean a little inspiration for our chats, see if there's anything newsworthy.
That's it, or just to read the angry comments.
I try and steer away. We know what Stephen Fry taught us. Never read the bottom half of the internet.
No, well, that's true, and he's right, because if the consensus is to be believed, as we've discussed before, anything with less than 300 horsepower is dangerously slow.
We do know that, don't we?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
That's
so
true.
We've had that confirmed. Yeah.
Yes, we have learned that. But funnily, on the subject of things that have more than 300 horsepower, there I was, browsing away and, seeing what's what. And then I was smacked between the eyes by an article I was both pleased to see and also annoyed to see.
Yes.
Piston heads announcing to the world what a good buy an S-Type R would be about now.
Oh, that's wonderful work. That helps you enormously, doesn't it?
Cruelly overlooked, it says.
But they're not wrong.
Something of a fast Jag bargain.
It's doing nothing to help your cause, is it?
It's not, is it?
No.
It's really not. No, I don't need any competition here.
No, it's quite funny, if I'm honest. I know it's childish to laugh, but I will.
You will. You saw it, chuckled, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I got a glimpse of it earlier, but I thought, I know what, you'll mention that, so I was like, I don't need to worry about bringing that up.
Yeah, it's going to come up, isn't it?
You'll deal with that yourself.
It's a good article, and I agree with everything in it. Although, in my opinion, they have picked the wrong car to feature, which is good, because I may have a little bit of knowledge there that will give me some edge.
Oh, God, don't tell everyone.
No, I'm not going to say what it is. That is a gorgeous car, and it's in an unusual colour, and it's lovely, the one they featured in the article.
Oh, strong colour, that. Oh,
strong colour. It's a lovely colour, quite an unusual colour for an S-Type. Very much like that. Radiance Red, it's called. It's lovely. The precursor to Italian racing red. But yes, nice. there is a reason that particular car is not on my list, but I'm not going to say why, because yes, there may be some competition out
there. Yes, let's not take away your one bargaining tool at the moment.
There are better value examples. Let's put it like that.
Yes, that's fine. But yes, that brings up the topic of the fact that they're still very much on your mind.
Oh, I can't get it off my mind. Yeah, it's I think it's going to happen. It's been discussed around the boardroom table and in the kitchen, and
it counts.
Yeah, it's very much a I think you should probably do that if that's what you want to do. I think should be doing that really.
Right.
And I think the good lady will prefer it to the current vehicle. Just in the fact that it's a little bit smaller and just the interior is more sort of classic, and I just think she'll get on with it better.
See, I've got no problem with your current vehicle.
No, we do need to get you in it before I sell it.
Yes, please. Yes, I would like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got no driving experience of a modern Jag, so I would like to tick that off.
Oh, we should take the opportunity. It would be a waste if we didn't. Yeah, absolutely. No, we need to get you in there.
Well, the fact we've already done the paperwork as well, it seems daft, doesn't it?
It'd be a bit silly to not do that. So yes, let's make that happen. But in fact, the comment was even made. Even if the numbers don't work out and it costs a little bit to change, I still think you should do it.
Well, it's It's like a gold seal of approval.
I wasn't expecting that.
No one saw that coming. Bloody hell.
I will try and avoid that situation, obviously.
Yeah. You want to be, well, I mean, like we said before, you're probably not going to lose out on the current vehicle. Let's be honest.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
No. But it's interesting that you say that Dawn's like, well, just do it. The man does it. Which is a stance that you weren't entirely expecting.
Very much so.
May I bring us back to a topic that I discussed a little while back about BMWs?
Yes, you may.
My browsing has continued.
Okay.
Found some really nice ones out there. I've extended my browsing slightly.
Okay.
To include 3 Series Touring as well.
Right. Okay. Not just the.
Not just 5 Series.
Not just the 5. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Well, the 3 is not to be overlooked.
Yeah, I'm not desperate for the mammoth space that I once was. So
no, they are a bit smaller. Granted, sort of Focus estate sized, really, aren't they? Possibly even a little bit smaller, but still a very practical car. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been just sort of casually browsing. It's been quite refreshing to look through and go, actually, while there aren't as many, any ones that are petrol variants tend to be cheaper.
That's interesting.
From what I found, I don't know if that's the general rule of thumb or just the luck of the draw at the moment, but
the XFs that I looked at when I was, pondering those, it was very much the other way round. The petrols were commanding more of a premium than the diesels. Yeah. Whether it's something to do with ULEZ, I don't know. The diesel ones aren't ULEZ compliant. The petrol ones tend to be. Whether that's got anything to do with it, I don't know. I mean,
maybe
it'll limit the market a bit, I suppose.
But I mean, I suppose it's a weird one, isn't it? Because I mean, there's so much of it on the website, sort of car adverts, whether it's a dealer or whether it's a private sale. It's people are mentioning ULEZ all the time. You go, well,
it's often the first line of the advert these days. Yeah,
and you go, well, all right. What percentage of the population lives in a ULEZ area? Because I mean, yes, we know about the London one, but there are other cities in the UK that have a congestion or an emissions charge.
Yeah. Yes.
But still, in the grand scheme of things, there are a lot of people who don't live in those.
Yeah, I mean, certainly living where we do, we couldn't care less.
No.
And I have no intention of ever driving into the centre of London, so you'd have to be insane.
No, I've done it once, and it just makes you angry.
Yeah, I did it once a long time ago, and it was not the most pleasurable motoring experience of my life. No.
It was fine, but you soon get into the same mentality as everyone else of horns and swearing.
Yeah, you do, and forcing your way into junctions, and it's just because that's the only way to get about.
Yeah. And it was
you
fine.
Start being polite and waving people through. You are going to be sat there all day. People will just take advantage of you, so you've got to be rude and bullish and force your way out of junctions, and
I mean, fortunately I was in a work car, so I didn't really worry too much about that.
Very good.
Yeah. So the main reason I bring up BMW stuff, other than me just sort of casually browsing and finding a few that I quite like the look of, a certain someone may have come round to the idea.
Oh, really? Because there was very much resistance there.
Very much resistance
on the first airing of that idea.
Yes, I don't want one of those.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. That's all right. Well,
yes,
which, like I said,
a flat rejection of all cars from the brand, wasn't it? It wasn't just one particular model. Anything they make is out of the question. Yes.
Yeah, but since spending some time looking at them, she's gone, does look quite nice, doesn't it? Yes, it does.
Nice work. Yes, the slow burn is starting to work.
The slow burn is starting to work. There's so much so that she's quite keen to go and look at one in Barnstaple.
Oh, blimey, that is okay. Okay.
I don't think I want it. I think it's not quite what I'm after, but I'm tempted to go and look anyway.
You should perhaps go anyway, in order that she can see one, and more for her than you, really.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite the right spec that I want, and I think it's a bit overpriced.
Fair enough.
So you've
got to get the right one. And you and I are probably pretty specific on the specs that we want.
Reasonably specific, and the fact that there's probably not a massive shortage of these cars kicking about.
No, I wouldn't imagine so. I haven't specifically looked. I've not done a lot of research on that particular make, but I can't imagine they're in short supply.
No, they're really not. And they're quite friendly on the wallet in terms of sort of running costs. So even looking at some, if we take the 2-litre petrols of either 3 or the 5, they tend to be under the £200 a year for tax.
Okay, that's good.
Which is fine.
That's less than you're paying now, isn't it?
Yes, by some considerable
on the Volvo
margin.
Yeah. Yes, quite. So that's good. Yeah,
that's good. And you think as well, you go 2-litre petrol. Well, it's quite pokey still. They got, what are they? They're not quite 200 horsepower. There's 7.5 to 60.
Yeah, I'd have thought in an ideal world you'd want there's a 3-litre? Or again, this is not a model.
There are bigger engines, but though if as soon as you stray above the 2 litres, then you go right. Now they are actually becoming more difficult to find.
Okay, fair enough. Because not so many people bought them new.
No, you have to think
they're not the choice of the fleet buyer. So
precisely that.
There aren't so many. It's as simple as that, isn't it? Yeah,
that is exactly it. They're plentiful because they were fleet, and you look at the history on them, and they go, they're fastidiously maintained. The mileage is really low on quite a lot of them.
Right, that's good.
Yeah. So there's plenty. There's some on the agenda. Might go and have a look at that one, but I'm not having it.
No, but it would give your good lady an opportunity to have a poke about with one, wouldn't it? We'll go one of 2 ways, I guess.
Well, it's what it is.
She'll really like it and be all for it, or she'll, oh no, actually I really don't like this.
Yeah, because she's never, I don't even think she's passengered in a modern BMW, let alone driven one.
Okay, I've driven a few over the years.
I've driven quite a few.
3 and 5 Series.
I had to go in a 1 Series. Didn't like that.
Oh yeah, I drove a friend's 1 Series once, a 3-door, and I think I also had a 1 Series as a courtesy car once when I had the Mini. A couple of the original 1 Series, which I thought was quite a decent car actually.
I don't know. The one I had was just angry little clutch on it. That's
sort of a BMW trait I've always found.
It is.
I've always driven fairly new ones because they've either been courtesy cars from dealers or, friends' cars have only just bought them. So I've only driven fairly new ones.
That 1 Series I drove was like a few weeks old.
Right. So same thing.
But I tell you what, the majority of the 3 and 5s I've been looking at, you really have to go out of your way to find one that doesn't have an auto.
Yes, the cursory look that I've had at Beamers generally is the vast majority are autos.
Which I don't mind. That doesn't bother me.
The manuals are out there, but they are harder to find. Yeah.
Considering the type of car, I'm not too concerned. If it happens to be a manual, great. If it doesn't, it's not a deal breaker when it's.
It wouldn't be a deal breaker, right?
No.
Okay, you're not only looking for manuals. Fair enough. That's good.
No,
neither am I. Just as well. Really.
Yes, good. Very good for you.
It doesn't exist. Well, I think that there's one, isn't there? There's the one that Maguire's have done. Have you seen that one?
I'm sure I've heard of this one. Yes.
The Maguire's S-Type R that's heavily been breathed on, and that one's had a manual swap. That is the only one I know of.
But yeah, the browse continues. So.
Yeah, as it should. Interesting that you may be meeting less resistance at home than was expected. We might both be onto a winner there.
Yeah, no, I just think it means we end up with a car that will do everything again, but probably a bit more of a driver's car as well.
A bit more of a driver's car, substantially newer, I'm guessing, than the Volvo.
Yeah.
So therefore likely to be perhaps more reliable. Not that the Volvo is, terribly unreliable, but you know what I mean.
No,
it's not without its issues.
The worst thing it did over Christmas was had a slightly low battery because it
3 weeks.
But I still got it going. It still went.
My XF had that. So
the Mini, which that didn't move, I think worked it out for 4.5 weeks, and I went out to it and went, oh look, it doesn't start.
Oh, strange.
Yes, because I didn't go into the office on the week running up to Christmas. A week and a bit running up to Christmas because everyone, their mum in the office had COVID. I was like, I don't want any of that, thank you.
It's doing the rounds, isn't it?
It's
doing the rounds. I think what Dawn and I had was COVID, to be honest. Reading the latest symptoms list.
Yeah, more than likely.
I think we had COVID, but I need to try and start the Puma this week because it's next week it goes in for its surgery. So. And it now hasn't turned a wheel since beginning of October. So
you might be all right. You've got a charger, haven't you?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, I had to use it on the Volvo when I had it.
Yes.
So, yes.
Yeah. Whip that battery out. Get it on charge. Give it a nice couple of days of a really nice, slow, gentle charge, and you'll probably be all right.
I think it'll be fine. A couple of the tyres need pumping up. They've gone down a little bit, but other than that, it's such a strong engine, that car. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
As long as it doesn't snap in half, backing out the driveway, we'll be golden.
Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll be fine. That'd be good to get that in and get that sorted.
Yeah, that is booked in for next week now. So hopefully by this time next week, we may have a functioning Puma again.
Oh, wonderful news. That'll do nicely. I'll be intrigued to hear about that.
Yes. That's another car you need to have a drive of.
Yes. Yes, I'd like that as well. But yes, I'd like it when it's mended.
Now's not the best time.
Right. Shall we be awfully sensible?
Oh, we're not. Quentin's not coming back, is he?
I'm afraid he might be. Let's talk car sales.
I know. Let's do that. Yes.
Would you like to talk car sales in the last quarter of 2023?
I would be very interested to talk about that, yes.
Should we really pin it down? Would you like to talk electric car sales in the last quarter of 2023?
Well, I believe that is the only growth area.
Well, what we're not doing is, well, let's say we're focusing purely on electric. We're comparing brands against one another rather than comparing electric against combustion.
I'm comfortable with that. Yeah.
So, apparently, the Chinese brand BYD has overtaken Tesla in the electric car sales in the last quarter of 2023.
Can't say I'm surprised by that. They have a very compelling offering.
Yes, they do. So, let's have a look at some figures. So, BYD are saying that it sold 526,000 battery-only vehicles in the final quarter of 2023 versus Tesla's 484,500. Okay.
Well, they're in the ballpark, aren't they? This is presumably globally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Just to clarify.
I'm skimming, but it would make sense that it's global. But that's a significant moment in time. That
it's impressive, isn't it? I mean, it probably was only a matter of time before a Chinese manufacturer achieved that.
But what's interesting is it's not one of the utterly cheapy ones.
No, that's true. It's not.
They're a bit. Well, I mean, they do have some cheaper offerings, but they do have some quite fancy offerings. Like what's it called? The Seal, the bigger saloon that they do. That's quite a nice looking thing.
It is actually, yeah. I mean, they all are, to be honest. There isn't really an ugly duckling in the. I mean, BYD is one of those manufacturers where people think, well, they've come out of nowhere, but in fact, they haven't. It's one of those faceless companies that's been selling components and vehicles in China for decades. They haven't come out of nowhere. They've just come out of nowhere in Europe.
Yeah. I mean,
and they've started selling vehicles under their own name. Whereas before they've always been making for other people and selling components. Whereas now they've actually said, well, we could put these together ourselves. We've got all the bits.
So just having a look, because I'm going into this really underprepared. So the Seal, which is the biggest saloon that they do, that's 45 and some pence for base spec with no tweaks.
Okay.
The Dolphin, their small car, I don't even I think it classed as a small car. They've not. I don't think it does look like a little hatchback. It doesn't look like a SUV. That's 30,000 and a bit without any poking. And the Atto, which does look like a mini or compact SUV, which makes me want to puke. That's 37 and a half. So at no point are they utterly taking the piss. I don't think money-wise.
They're not cheap, are they? I mean, they're
not
at
cheap,
the top end of the market, but they're not cheap. I mean, the MG offerings are cheaper than that. So they're not entry level price wise by any means.
No, not at all. But that's the interesting bit of going. Well, actually, you kind of got some mid range and they're selling big.
But I suppose mid range is always where it's going to be, isn't it? Because that's where most people are.
Yeah. I suppose so.
Certainly, most people who are in the market for a brand new EV are going to be people, not fabulously wealthy, but not struggling either.
No, exactly.
So I think that sort of makes sense that the mid-range stuff would be the best selling, and you're going to get companies buying them and things like that as well. But no, that's good. That's good. I mean, I can't help thinking the Tesla range is. I don't know. I wouldn't use the word necessarily stagnating, but there's been nothing. There's been nothing. Well, there's nothing new. I mean, there's been a facelift of the Model 3, and there's a facelift of the Y coming. There's been the Plaid Model S, but it looks the same as the previous Model S. Same with the Model X. Cybertruck, I suppose, but that's only really of interest in North America.
Let's face it, it's toss.
Well, it doesn't work over here. Let's put it like that.
I mean, you saw some of the close-up shots of it when it was allowed near the public, and you go, "Ooh, that's the build quality." I mean, I know we've joked about Tesla build quality and go, they've actually stepped it up a bit, I would say, but on that they went, let's forget all that.
Certainly in Model 3 and Model Y, yes, absolutely. And I believe you're going to be in a Model Y shortly, so you'll be able to tell us what you think. I'm hoping you can cast your mind back and do a little bit of comparison to my old Model S.
Don't you worry. Opinions at the ready.
Where the build quality was not the best, and neither was the material quality. But the Model Y I've been in was certainly a step ahead of that. So yes, I agree. I think it's fair to say certainly in Model 3 and Model Y, they have definitely stepped it up a bit.
Yeah.
But yes, that does not seem to have been carried through to the Cybertruck. But is that because it's predominantly for sale in North America? So the competition for top build quality is perhaps not as strong as it is in Europe. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, yeah. Standards are different. I'm not going to say
particularly in the pickup truck market.
Yeah.
Particularly in the pickup truck market.
The trouble is they're going up against Ford and Rivian, and I just worry that it's too gimmicky.
Ford mainly.
Yeah.
Rivian are having trouble scaling up.
Yeah.
Ford know all about scaling up. In fact, they invented the concept.
Yeah, so you should be all right. But you know what I mean in the sense of it is a bit. It's on the gimmick side, isn't it?
It's a bit niche. Let's put it like that. Tesla have more models coming, but yes, they've been around a while now. They're well established in the market. They've very much up to this point driven the market. I don't think it's unfair to say that, but there was bound to be stiff competition coming along, and it was probably going to be from either the Koreans or the Chinese.
And fair play. I think it's good though. It's healthy, I think, to do it. To have some competition.
It's competition in the market. That's never a bad thing for us, the consumer.
No.
Consumer choice is excellent. So it's good. It's good. That's interesting. If that's overtake, where are we on the other side of Tesla then? If BYD and Tesla are at the top.
I don't know. All the articles were just shouting about BYD.
Okay, right. Okay, fair enough.
Oh God,
I would imagine Kia.
I would say so. I wonder if the stats are in for the entirety of the year yet.
I haven't seen them. I normally do. What have you found?
Just again, I was just skimming through and going, trying to get a rough idea of the best-selling cars, and it's just all the articles go, the Ford Puma, but it's just fuck off.
Oh, it's going to be there, isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be there. I'm just having a look. It is in. I'm looking at UK specifically here, and it is the Ford Puma is the top, whichever way you slice it. Yeah.
Let's just drop down a bit actually, because they reckon that. I don't think we've had December stats for the UK yet, but the UK car market grew again in November despite a dip in electric car sales.
Yeah. Well, looking, as you say, we don't have all of December's figures yet, but for 2023 as a whole, with the sort of end of the year a little bit missing, Ford Puma is at the top. Number 2 is disappointing.
Right, hang on. So I don't know if we're looking at the same list, but I've got year to date, which is as current as the end of November.
Yes.
So we've got on the list I've got here. We've got Puma.
Yeah.
Nissan Qashqai.
Yeah, I think we are looking at the same list. Yeah.
Vauxhall Corsa is the only sort of glimmer of hope, even though I don't want one.
No, but yes.
Kia Sportage.
Yeah.
Hyundai Tucson.
Yeah.
Tesla Model Y.
It's interesting. That's the first electric.
So it's the first electric, but we are still firmly in SUV territory.
Yes.
Mini.
The Mini at number 7. It doesn't say which Mini.
No, I'm clinging to the fact that it's the just hatchback original.
It's the 3-door hatch.
Yeah, that'll do me.
Please let it be the 3-door hatch. Yes.
Then it all falls apart again with the Nissan Juke.
Oh, it really does, doesn't
the
it?
Vauxhall Mokka, and then we do end up with a small hatchback with the Audi A3.
So there are only 2 cars on that list which are not SUVs.
Oh no, 3. Sorry, Audi, Mini, and Corsa.
Oh, the Corsa. Sorry, I missed the Corsa. So 3 on that list that aren't. So 3 of 10 that aren't SUVs, and only 1 that we can verify is pure electric.
Yeah, because I'm assuming some of the others will be hybrids.
Could be. Well, some of the Minis might be electric. It doesn't say, does it?
No, it doesn't say.
It's very specific in some categories and very vague in others.
I'm going to have to be very careful. I tell you what, because I'm going to be in the Model Y. I'm going to have to sort of step to get the mindset out of SUV and go, right, what I need to do is be objective and form my opinions based on the car, not the presentation.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about the presentation, but I do think you should evaluate it as a car.
I'm going to be good. I'm going to be really good.
And the driving experience and all of that. Yeah, absolutely. I know it was a little while ago when you drove my Model S, but it will be interesting. Although I think I can probably guess which one of the two you would prefer to have.
I'm looking forward to it nonetheless because it's a nice little after Christmas treat.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's great. It's great if you can have a cracking one. That would be brilliant. Yeah,
have a little cracking one of those. Gonna have some curries and some beer and go look at some other cars as well.
Very good. Wait, which model is it? Long range performance?
Oh, I'm fully briefed. Not a clue.
Okay, just wondered. It doesn't make a lot of difference. They're all blinking fast.
I'll return with all of the facts because at the present I have none of them.
Very good. You're going into this well prepared, I can see. But it matters not.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's fine. But yeah, I'll come back with the facts, and it's just and part of it's just a bit of a road trip with your mate as well. So I'm quite looking forward to that.
Oh, tremendous! Double bubble.
Well, you know what it's like. You have a jaunt down the motorway, talk bollocks. It's very similar to sitting at a desk now when talking bollocks.
It's not dissimilar to this. It's just that we're not mobile, although we have done some mobile episodes. We should do some again.
We shall.
Yes, we shall. Yes.
Right.
Interesting. Very interesting. And it's interesting that there are fewer EVs on that list than there were, I think, earlier 6 months into the year.
Yeah, we looked earlier in the year, and it was I wouldn't say EV heavy, but certainly more and higher up.
I'm pretty sure Model Y was at the top of the list last time I looked.
Yeah, earlier in the year it was trading first and second. That and the Puma were first and second as the months moved on.
Definitely, it's interesting. The Puma's still there, and the Model Y has dropped down. I wonder if that's Ford dealers doing deals.
It could be.
Because they do like a bit of a deal, don't they? And throwing in a few extras over at Ford. So
yeah, they do. That's the trouble because I got stuck behind one the other day.
Oh, well, they're everywhere.
Everywhere. We're on a national speed limit road doing 35 miles an hour.
Oh, they specialise in that.
Just get on with it.
Yes, it's good, isn't it?
Oh, it just drives you at the wall.
We found ourselves doing a brief trip out on New Year's Day, and we followed. It was fine. And we followed a Mark II Ford Focus.
Yeah. All the way home.
Not all the way home, but to the end of the road.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
And he was driving, or she was driving very, very carefully and very, very slowly. I think we know what was going on in there, it being New Year's Day.
Nursing somewhat of a hangover there.
Or perhaps
or
not.
Still on
Yes, there was a little bit of overcorrection here and there, and a lot of braking when going up hills and things like that. All the favourites.
Yes, and we had probably not dissimilar one on. It was New Year's Eve, I think, actually.
Okay.
During the day. Yeah, but we suspected pisshead, but they turned off in front of us and they turned to the right, so we got a really good glimpse of the driver and went, oh no, I'm sorry, that's not a drunkard, that's a corpse behind the wheel.
Oh yeah, well that's a possibility as well.
And I'm just going, I am so sorry. I get it, because we had to have the conversation with my granddad about the sort of, he wanted the independence, but you cannot see.
Yeah, that is the problem, isn't it? Yeah.
Like, we are not doing it to be mean. We don't want you to die prematurely.
Yes.
Or kill someone else.
Kill someone else prematurely. Yes. Oh, it's a problem. Yeah.
Awkward conversation. It's hopefully when I'm old and senile, I'll take it better than everyone else does, but I don't know.
No, I don't think you can guarantee that.
No, I'm angry now. I can't imagine I'll be any cheerier then.
No, it seems unlikely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to get any better from this point on.
Oh dear, there's no hope, is there? Oh,
no, not
one
really.
thing that Kaylee asked me actually to ask you.
Oh yeah.
She caught a glimpse of this week's episode that's gone out, and she asked, "Have you found a use for your primer yet?"
No, because I've chosen not to do the work on the Puma myself.
Well, okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, maybe find just a household item and prime that. You never know.
I could just go around priming things. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. It's to keep it in tip-top shape. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have not, sadly. No. No. I need to try harder, obviously.
That might become a running joke. I don't know. Maybe we'll ask you every week whether you've primed.
Whether I've primed anything. Depends which way you take that, I suppose.
Yeah, I might try and sort of really pin it down to the can of zinc primer, but if you're going to be a dirty little bugger, we'll.
I said nothing.
You didn't. I filled in the blanks.
Filled that in for yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, yes. I did. Yeah, dirty little bugger. Very good. Right. What else was I going to say? Oh, when you look at someone else's list and it annoys you.
I need a bit of context to that question.
Right. Well, we critiqued the Pistonheads list of they had various categories of the best cars of the last 25 years. Was it?
Yes. We did go through that and tear it to pieces, didn't we? Yes.
I've been given a list of a very well-known outlet of 25 of the greatest V12 supercars.
Oh, blimey. Okay.
Not really our area.
No, probably no. No, well, we long since decided that supercars are fairly pointless, didn't we?
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest, it annoyed the piss out of me. But I'm not going to go through them all because it's just, some of them are just tedious. But what I am going to I think what we should do is just, right, so we're not going to make a list. What we're going to do is we're just going to decide. We'll decide on number one. We won't mess about.
Okay.
And I've thought about it. And I'm not deciding for us. I'm just saying what I think it should be, and you can come back at me and you go, no, you're wrong, or yes, you are 100% correct.
Okay.
So let's not mess about. There are a few contenders, but I think the one that wins, let's not be silly, is the McLaren F1.
It's hard to ignore, isn't it?
It's
hard to ignore. It's hard to argue against that, to be honest.
It's the correct one. It's a Gordon Murray one. It's got the McLaren name. It's a design classic. Beautiful, naturally aspirated BMW V12.
Yeah.
6 litre. They've claimed 6.1, but you really are rounding up at that point, so we'll say 6 litre.
Yeah, fair enough.
It held the record for fastest car in the world for God knows how long.
It did.
Just a smidge over 240 mile an hour. You go,
it did.
That's how you do it. That's it. There are plenty. Like I said, there are contenders. I think Gordon Murray's done it again with his new one, the T50. But it's not. It's not as timeless as a McLaren F1. Let's be honest.
No, well, it can't be yet, can it? Because it's new. So yeah.
You've got various Lamborghinis, but it's probably a bit too brash, if I'm honest.
Not really for us, I don't think. Well, obviously not for us, price-wise.
No.
Aside from that,
we could go Ferrari Enzos, things like that. But it's too. There's an elegance to the F1.
Can I make a suggestion?
Of course.
What about the Zonda? The original Zonda, the Pagani Zonda. That is an exquisite car.
Yeah, the original where they hadn't fiddled. Yeah, that's up there, isn't it?
The first one. Yeah, the original, as you say.
Was it C12? Which one was it? Oh God, I'm gonna have to look.
Oh, he's gone into numbers now.
Was that the first one, or was it just called a Zonda? No, the original was.
I think it was just called Zonda.
The original was C12. Yeah, so there we go. There we go. The adenoids are in action. Very good.
Oh, very good. You geeky little fella, you. Yes. I just think it's an exquisite thing. I don't think it's as overall as attractive as the F1, but yes.
I mean, again, you think about it, go right. All right, it's Italian packaging, so it's a different design language, but it's still a 6-litre German engine.
Yeah, it's true. It's Mercedes, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Oh, you're throwing a spanner in the works, haven't you?
I've done a thing there. Yeah.
Oh bloody hell!
I've got another one as well.
Oh, go on then. What have you got to sort of derail?
This isn't as good a car.
Okay.
I'll say that straight away.
Right.
I don't believe it's as good at like we've driven all these. But I don't think it's as good a car, but I do think it's better looking.
What, than a McLaren F1?
No, probably not than the McLaren F1,
okay.
but than the Zonda. The Aston Martin Vanquish S.
Yeah, I can see where you're going, but I'm gonna rule it out, I'm afraid, because I would.
Well, as I did say, I don't think it's as good a car.
But that's not the reason I'm ruling it out, because I don't think the goodness of the car is too much to worry about. But I don't think that's a supercar.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay,
I think that's a big, Larry cruiser.
Yeah, I suppose it probably is. Yeah.
It's too understated, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I suppose it probably is, isn't it? It's not flamboyant enough.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, no, fair enough. I'm not going to argue with that.
That's okay. I mean, I'll tell you what then, right? I don't think you and I need to argue. We could probably pop those two on the top of the podium. They'll share the prize money. Everyone's a winner. It's like a primary school sports day.
Yes, there are no losers at St Barnabas's.
Exactly.
Yes.
However, the unnamed outlet, I am going to name and shame a couple of their selections.
Okay.
The Ferrari Daytona SP3. Monstrosity.
Yeah, monstrosity is a strong word.
Are you refreshing your memory? You'll agree with me.
I am.
Just a split second.
Let me see. Let me remind myself of what that looks. Oh, yeah, it's horrible, isn't it?
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I'd forgotten quite how bad it was.
Told you.
Oh, especially from the back.
I know. I jumped to all the conclusions, but they were all right.
Another that's
one.
Terrific. Yes, no, you're quite right. I'm not going to debate that with you.
Another car that they put on the list, which really annoys me because A, they've put it down as a supercar, and B, the V12 variant was an utter munter. The Jaguar E-Type.
Oh. No. Well, I mean, I've said before I'm not a particular fan of that.
No, I mean, if you're going to have an E-Type, you have a really early Series 1. You do not have a V12 one because they are pig ugly.
Yeah, no, you don't have the V12. You're right. You don't have the V12 at all. It's the worst of the bunch.
Worst. Absolute worst.
Yes, because that's Series 3, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they'd ruined it by then.
Yep.
Categoric.
One that
From every angle, it's spoiled by that point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They are quite a bit cheaper, but there is a reason for that.
Yeah. That's because
no one wants them.
That's just not as good, let's face it. No. The new Aston Martin Valkyrie. Again, no one really was born with eyes.
No, that can get in the sea.
I just don't see what the fuss is all about. I just don't like it.
No.
I feel like they decided that they were picking 25 and then went, oh bloody hell. Which 25 are we picking? It's just like, come on.
Yeah.
Like
it's not good, is it?
There was one where they really scraped the barrel. Do you remember? Like you can clearly see they're trying to make up the numbers, and they put in the Vector M12, which was the American one.
It was, wasn't it? Again, they're struggling with that, aren't they?
And one that.
Yeah, that's awful.
Another Aston that I probably controversially don't really like, and that's the 177.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of people praise it, but I think it just looks a bit crap.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
the back end's okay. The front's gone wrong.
Yeah, don't like it. No, so right. So the stuff and waffle choice here is we're having a shared first place of a McLaren F1 and an original Zonda. That works.
I think so. I can go with that. We've both got a say in that, I think.
Yeah, yes. I think so. And I'm sure the Zonda's come up before, isn't it? As we've praised it in a supercar category of going, well, it fits the bill with silly, but with a bit of German engineering underneath. And you go, yeah, all right. I think you're onto a winner there.
I think it was beautifully made. All the detailing on it's incredible.
Oh yeah.
The magnesium switchgear on the dash and all that kind of stuff. I think there's just the little details on it are just incredible.
Dirty.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, as I said, exquisite is the word.
That's the thing. It could only be Italian, couldn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it's wonderful actually. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that does edge it. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
It's good enough to make you think about it, isn't it?
It is. I don't know. I'm happy to not alternate every other. So pick one either every other day. So that's fine. That's not a problem.
Well, we'll have both, shall we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's no, that's it. We'll say sod it to the Mark 1 Focus. We'll just get both of those instead.
So it's no longer just by a Mark 1 Focus. It's just by a McLaren F1 or a Pagani Zonda.
That's it. I mean, you don't get this solid advice anywhere else.
No, the kind of as you said, Quentin was coming back, and I think he'd be all over that.
I think he would, yeah.
As long as both of them have done at least 200,000 miles, just nicely run in.
Bloody hell! I mean, if they've done 200,000 miles, I might end up picking the McLaren if that's all right.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I wouldn't like to say that with any great confidence.
Well, I mean, Quentin's a big fan of an independent warranty. That'd be fun, trying to get an independent warranty on a 200,000 mile supercar.
Yeah,
that'd be a fun game, ringing around trying to sort that out, wouldn't it?
Yes. We're only going to let him drive to the shops very, very rarely.
Oh God! Right. Okay. No, I think that must be us done when we're suggesting getting warranty on 200,000 mile supercars. Right.
I think we've very much hit the buffers of our consumer advice there. Yes.
So this is our first recording of 2024, and we've really appealed to everyone in the car buying community there, haven't we? So yes.
Tell you what, I'll cover all the bases.
Go on then.
Parked next to the garage that those two are in, Mark 1 Focus, because you're going to need something to drive, like when neither of those, will go.
Yeah, perfect. Solid advice there. Yep. Let's go with that then.
Yep. I've covered it there. Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.